You think you know wealth. You see the headlines. Elon Musk buys a social media platform for billions. Jeff Bezos flies to the edge of space on his own rocket. Forbes magazine prints their smiling faces on glossy covers, telling you they are the richest men on earth. They are lying to you. What you see on those lists isn't real power. It's the acceptable face of capitalism. It's the wealth they allow you to see. But true, world-altering wealth doesn't scream for attention. It whispers in closed boardrooms. It hides behind impenetrable trusts, offshore accounts, and centuries of secrecy. Today, we are opening the dark ledger to reveal the truth. Forget billions. We are hunting trillionaires. The people who don't just own companies, they own the world. How do you measure a fortune that doesn't want to be measured? The Forbes billionaires list is a magician's trick. It calculates wealth based on public stock ownership and known assets. If your company is public, like Tesla or Amazon, your wealth is visible. But what about private equity? What about land ownership, sovereign debt, and resources? The truly immense fortunes on this planet are not tied to the volatile stock market daily. They are locked in private, generational trusts that have never been audited by the public eye. When Forbes publishes its list, they are showing you the players. They are not showing you who owns the casino. The real game is played in the shadows, behind a curtain of complex financial instruments designed to make money invisible. Let's look at the stock market. Who actually owns corporate America? If you dig into the shareholders of Apple, Microsoft, Pfizer, or Coca-Cola, you will keep finding the same names at the top of the list. Meet the Big Three index fund giants, BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Together, they manage over $20 trillion in assets. That's more than the entire GDP of China. They are the largest shareholders in almost 90% of the S&P 500 companies. They own the media companies that tell you the news, the pharmaceutical companies that make your medicine, and the food companies that fill your grocery stores. But here is the trillion-dollar question: who owns BlackRock and Vanguard? Because they are private, we don't fully know. But the trail leads back to an interlocking web of private dynasties. A financial octopus with its tentacles wrapped around the entire global economy. Before tech bros in Silicon Valley, there were dynasties. Families that have compounded wealth not for decades, but for centuries. These are the legacy bloodlines. The House of Rothschild, who financed the wars of Europe and built the modern banking system. The Rockefellers, whose monopoly on oil built the foundation of the American century. The royal families of the Gulf, who sit on oceans of liquid gold. Their wealth is so fragmented across hundreds of shell companies, charitable foundations, and sovereign wealth funds that no single accountant on earth could track it all. Some analysts estimate the combined, hidden wealth of these few families could exceed $10 or even $20 trillion. They don't just have money, they have history. And history buys influence that doesn't expire with an election cycle. Why hide trillions? Why not flash it like the billionaires on Instagram? Because true wealth isn't about buying yachts or islands. It's about buying control. When you have this level of capital, you don't lobby the government, you are the government. You control the central banks that set interest rates, deciding who gets rich and who goes broke. You fund the think tanks that write the policies and own the media outlets that shape public opinion. While the world argues over celebrity net worth or political puppet shows, the shadow elite are pulling the strings that decide the price of your bread, the value of your currency, and the outcome of the next global crisis. The system isn't broken, it was built this way. We are just characters in a financial ledger we aren't allowed to read. The faces you see on TV are not the ones in charge. The real masters of this world prefer the dark. Open the dark ledger in the comments. If you had $10 trillion but had to remain a ghost to the world, never taking credit for your power, would you do it? Tell us below. And remember, if you can see their wealth, they aren't the ones running the show.